This is the true beginning of globalization.
Spanish fleets shipped 50,000 tons of silver out of the Americas, creating a new Atlantic trade.
Suddenly we have mass quantities coming onto the market, which is going to really transform all of European trade. And what we see is a whole new booming economy in Europe.
New trading centers rise. Seville, Lisbon, London, and on the coast of a small new country, the Netherlands, the world's richest and busiest trading city, Amsterdam, a city of new wealth and new desires, about to trigger the world's most extraordinary boom and bust, and gamble its future on a flower, the tulip. Amsterdam, 1639. A city flush with new money. A century after the Spanish conquest of the New World, the riches of the Americas and an explosion of global trade have turned the Netherlands into the richest nation on the planet. The Dutch control over half the world's shipping. More new millionaires than anywhere else on Earth. The highest income per head in Europe. A city in love with gambling. Caught up in the excitement, Jan van Hoyen. Struggling artist, looking for a new way to make his fortune.
In a wealthy city, a city of great merchants and great enterprises, he's a guy on the move, and he wants to get in on this action.
New wealth drives the demand for new luxuries. And one exotic import has captured the public's imagination, the tulip. Imported from Turkey, the patterns of the most exotic tulips are created by a virus that attacks only some bulbs, making them rare and hard to cultivate. Today, a tulip bulb sells for about 50 cents. But in Holland in 1636, the rarest bulbs are selling for 100 times their weight in gold. Amsterdam's merchants are inventing new ways of making money. The birth of speculation. In the back rooms of taverns, tulip merchants sell not flowers or bulbs, but the rights to next year's harvest. The world's first futures market.
Today, all agricultural products are sold at futures markets. You can buy crops that have not been harvested yet. Similarly, tulips were bought in advance of their delivery date.
In 1 month in November 1636, the price of tulip shares has quadrupled. Van Hoyen sees an opportunity.
Until now, if you weren't nobility or you weren't a great merchant, you weren't wealthy. But here's a chance for the common people to become wealthy.
Confident of a quick return, Van Hoyen invests all his savings in tulip shares. By the beginning of December, the price of tulip bulbs reaches 10 times their price a month before. A bubble has started to inflate. By December 12th, the price doubles again. At an auction in nearby Leiden, the 7 penniless orphans of an innkeeper pin their hopes for the future on their dead father's small collection of tulip bulbs. In less than an hour, each child earns 40 times the annual income of an average craftsman. Tulips turn orphans into millionaires. And the price continues to rise. Holland is gripped by tulip mania.
If you watch the price of tulips go up and up and up, you start to think you're a fool if you don't get on that escalator and ride up.
3 days later, Van Hoyen, like many others, buys more tulip shares.
You may well know that a tulip is only worth a tulip and not worth a fortune. But if other people think it's worth a fortune, then you'll make a lot of money.
By January 1637, the price has doubled again. Now, a few wise investors decide to sell their shares and make fortunes.
Everything in financial markets is about timing. The time you enter a contract and the timing you get out.
Van Hoyen hangs on to his, confident that the market will continue to rise and rise.
I could see myself in his shoes. He saw the orphans getting rich. He thought he would like to be in the mix himself, that if he didn't get in, that he'd miss the boat, he'd miss his chance. Unfortunately, his timing was off.
Suddenly, on February 3rd, 1637, at an auction in the city of Haarlem, a consignment of tulip bulbs goes unsold. Within days, investors panic and rush to sell their shares. But there are no buyers. Prices crash. Tulips once sold for 5,000 guilders, now worthless. From boom to bust. And Dutch investors discover a truth that mankind is still learning today. That the value of investments can go down as well as up.
Booms and busts have been with us since trade has been with us. But what's special about the tulip mania is the fact that people like Van Goyen, non-specialists, non-traders, are not qualified to understand the value of the bulb. They're getting involved in this trade. And frankly, they're not in a position to absorb the risk.
Van Hoyen is ruined. He never makes his fortune. But in painting his way out of debt, over 1,200 pictures and 800 drawings, he becomes one of Holland's most prolific and greatest artists. New wealth transforms society in Europe with new desires and new temptations.